And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of N.Cast. You have your co-host, me, Prince Ayo, and
What's up? What's up? It's Brian back
yeah, we're
again.
back. What are you saying?
Yeah, it's been I had a week break.
Yeah, you did have a week break, so I wanted to get out a N.Cast Plus episode that I've been thinking about for a while.
Mm.
But the duo's back once again. We're back at it. This time Brian's in frame. I don't know if anybody noticed last time, but he's actually in frame. I actually like the setup. It has like a nice setup in the background and stuff like that. I really like his setup.
Yeah. So within the past week, I got another monitor. So now I'm rocking a dual monitor setup, and I figured I wanted to try something new with my webcam instead of having it face on. Thought about it would be better to have like the side view. So kind of get my side appearance along with getting my shelf in the background because I like showing off some of my stuff. Because originally I was gonna keep the front facing camera, and then having like a green screen behind me. But I think I'm actually liking what I'm doing right now with this. But I'm gonna experiment some more. I've had a green screen for the longest, but I didn't have anything to hang it up with. Now I just got that, so I'm gonna experiment a little bit in my free time, and because I got a lot of free time
True.
these days.
True. That's very true.
But yeah,
I like
that's
the setup. It looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, but that's what I've been up with so the past week. That was my news highlight. But Prince, what about you? What have you been doing the past week?
Past week, it's been flying by. Like the days, like they're not becoming blur, but it's just like how fast they're going by. Even though like I'm running errands, I'm getting stuff done.
Mm.
I'm still working with like my website. Still trying to figure out this SEO. That's why our topic today is where it's at today because it's helping me learn search engine optimization. But
Mm-hmm.
school has been a little bit hectic. Thank God we have like a leader on our team. I mean, I'm a leader too, but like this lady's really been helping us like organize our group project stuff, and we've been getting our stuff in. The professor likes what we're producing, so that's a good note.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we haven't talked about it for at least like two episodes, or I haven't talked about it for at least two episodes. Is COVID-19. The update on that. So today is May 3rd, 2020.
Yeah, this recording's on May 3rd. Yep.
Correct. And the stay-at-home order has been lifted, at least in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. And I don't know. What have you been seeing online, Ryan? I still haven't like gone out like that other than a grocery store. But go ahead.
I haven't actually seen the picture or video, but I hear everybody talking about how at the National Mall, it's like packed and people are like losing their minds. Like, oh no, like we're gonna get that second wave again. And I mean, I have my thoughts and opinions about you know the whole like push to get things reopened. And long story short, me personally, I'm not going anywhere until I'm vaccinated. Aside from like the grocery store and like places where I like need to be, like for food and stuff. And I'm gonna try my absolute best to have it stay like that. Like I have a pretty good feeling that my fall semester is still gonna be online, but in the case that it is not, I'm gonna have to have some words with some people. But yeah, that's all I really have to say on that topic.
It's just that for me, in my opinion on it, at least in the Maryland area and the stats that I've been looking at for COVID-19 cases, they just keep going up. Like we're at 24,000 around there.
Yeah. I've been keeping up with like the national graphs, and like it's been slowing down, but we haven't dipped yet. Yeah. And that's a problem because it's been going up for like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks.
And on a positive note, just so we keep it balanced, there's been like I think 1 million cases where people have like surpassed like them actually getting COVID and healing and actually being able to be clear of COVID. So that's a more positive note. Like people are actually like surviving through COVID. So
yeah.
Positive note about it, but still, like you were saying, there's no actual dip. people are
Yeah.
actually it's actually still going up steadily. It's not as fast as it was through April. So the curve is sort of like it's making its way, but it's not comfortably like dipping back down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, like that's like still a problem, especially and it just blows my mind. People are still like, yeah, like put everything back the way it was. Like we didn't
It
need to
doesn't
shut
blow my
down.
mind.
Well,
It doesn't blow my mind because like I said a couple episodes ago, we live in a first world country. Kind of, we can only really speak for America because this is where we live. But it's like, what'd you expect? People want to make their money. They have bills and stuff, and they don't want to be in the house all the time. Like even when we were at the stay-at-home home order, when we had it in place, you still saw people out during the day, like walking close to each other. Not everyone, but there are a lot of people who were when I was driving to the grocery store and stuff like that. So it's just like I kind of anticipated it. It's just that I'm worried about the second wave, and that's just me being honest.
yeah. When I say like blows my mind, it's the fact that like how much better we could be handling this, but we aren't. And I know a lot of my friends are really tired of me like giving this example, but man, like Korea has probably handled it, if not the best, then definitely like right up there in terms of like COVID-19 like response, as in like they did drastic measures early on.
Wait,
Just
north or
so
south?
South, like no, nobody knows what's going on in North Korea.
I
Like North
mean,
Korea is basically like
well, what's his name died and then resurrected from the dead.
saying the fact that you have a political leader that we have to like actually have a real discussion whether or not he's alive or dead. That
That's
just says like
funny.
like nobody knows what goes on in North Korea. But
It's just funny that they even like announced that to the world that he was dead. But go ahead.
yeah, but yeah, South Korea has done an amazing job because did they did a lot of stuff early on just so they could avoid just total shutdown later, and it paid off. Like people are still social distancing, but there's still a lot of businesses that are still open. Some stuff is still closed, obviously, especially like schools. Schools are still online, but people are still like going out and having fun. Like they just had like their big holiday week. They had their golden week. Actually, it's still going on right now, and people are actually going outside and like hanging out with family and friends, and like everything's all good. Obviously, they're still practicing social distancing, but life never stopped for them. Like things never really shut down. They've
So they took the
changed.
precaution, like you said, like ahead of time. But it's kind of hard to like say that for worldwide because, I mean, news came out late through China. Like, let's just be honest.
Yeah, but at the same time, Korea had their first case the same exact day that we did.
It's true.
Mm.
I don't know.
What can
I
you
just
do?
obviously we got our first world country arrogance too, so we can't deny that. So
South Korea's a first world country too. They make a lot of money.
nah, but we have our American arrogance. Like let's just not behind the bush behind it. Like
Arrogance. I mean, yeah. I mean,
it's the Western
sad to
world type
say.
arrogance, like
It is sad to say, but we have like it's a very specific kind of arrogance. Like I
Yeah.
won't even because you're calling it like a first world arrogance. I won't even call it first world arrogance. I'll just call it it's American arrogance. Like I remember I was like 5 years old, and my like some of the things that my mom used to tell me, and she was just like she would not like hold back when it came to like just talking about like the way we do things here, and she's just like, yeah, Americans are arrogant.
yeah.
And
That's,
like
that's the truth.
that was ingrained in me at an early age. And then as I got more and more older, I'm like, wow, that is so true. That is so true.
We've been spoiled since World War II, and we didn't even like contribute that much. But it is what it is. But let's segue into the topic for today. I started off last time we were on air, so I'm gonna let you start off, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So today our featured topic we're talking about algorithms. Getting a bit more technical this week. There's a lot of different avenues we can take this, and we both have our kind of own things we want to touch on. But before we get into all of that, just kind of scratching the surface on the definition, right? So algorithms, the first thing you might think of like, sequencing. So like in the most basic of terms, think of algorithms as like a sequence of directions
Mm-hmm.
that you follow, but not that you as a human being, but it's more so a sequence of directions for computers. And the
Step
best,
by step instructions.
yeah. So
Exactly.
when I was a few years ago, when I was at my first semester at UMBC, when I was still an engineering student, we had our introductory to engineering class, and in this class, we learned about algorithms from a very like basic sense. And I remember that one of our in-class group projects was to basically we were all given a task that we want a computer to do, and we literally had to handwrite not like code or anything, but we had to handwrite steps that we would have the computer do in order to complete that task. And we would literally have to think like a computer and be very specific with the directions that we're giving it. And I think that was a pretty cool assignment that we had because ever since then, like I just fully like understand like what like these sequences are actually how these sequences are actually written. So with that being said, since this is actually a topic that you specifically really wanted to talk
Yeah.
about, let me ask you, why are algorithms important?
Based off your definition, you basically told why it's important, but it's almost if you have a cell phone, some type of algorithm is coordinating your cell phone, especially when you're searching through the web or if you're on social media. Um, the best example is Google and their rankings. The reason why I'm giving the Google example because I'm learning about SEOs, which is search engine optimization, and it's basically just ranking the page for whatever you're searching for, and that's usually how algorithms work. They're giving like the highest search that you're looking for, what you are ideally looking for in the Google search, and then they'll have like the least on either the third page or fourth page. But the first two pages, they're gonna rank whatever you're looking for on those first two pages, whether it's for cars, whether it's for clothes, you name it. And then when it goes to social media, for instance, Instagram, because I've been paying attention to their algorithm, and their algorithm changed the most. Um, the way it works is for you to get viewership is either you pay to play to get more viewership, because that's what it's about nowadays. It's not really about likes as much, even though that boosts a lot of people's self-esteem. But they're trying to get away from likes, and they're starting to use their organic reach and their exposure to your content as leverage, opposed to how much likes you have. But the way their algorithm works, or what I've read and what I've been told about the algorithm, is if people say you post a content, right? Say like 5, 10 people like it and 2 people comment. I kind of explained that bad. Okay, so say you post a content, right? They post it onto your timeline and maybe even to the explore page. 5, 10 people like it, and then like 2 people engage on your post. That's the first circle of group of people that they put it out to. Since there's some engagement and people liked it, they're gonna set it to another group of people with a lot more followers and a lot more engaged type people. They send it to them, and then it's basically like testing your content, whether it's going to actually be successful in that next group of people that they send it out to, or it's just going to be stagnant and they'll leave it at the next group. But if it's successful, they move it up to a higher ranking and more noticeable people, and that's how you get on the explore page half the time. So, but that constantly changes. It, I think like maybe 2016, 15, I really noticed like it was really about likes, and that's usually how you used to get on the explore page. But nowadays it's all about organic reach, and people are paying just for organic reach. Like the likes obviously matter because people like the content and stuff like that, but it's not the priority. It's the same thing for TikTok. Like TikTok, it's how many times people watch your content all the way through. Because one, TikTok's not even a social media platform. If you look on their website, it's considered a short video platform.
Somewhat like YouTube.
Yeah, like YouTube, but it's a short video version of it. So it's not even considered a social media platform. There's a lot of people didn't even understand about. I mean, you can look on their website. So it's kind of interesting how like this paradigm shift of like social media going into different avenues of how to content create. I kind of just went into the segue, but you would really wanted to talk about too, I guess. But yeah, that's my opinion on the algorithms. Well, let's go into that because I'm gonna give my other spiel about it, but I'll put in more in the closing thoughts. So let's just go into the segue about social media and algorithms, just because I basically gave my spiel about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, something that I really wanted to talk about today. You were talking about how algorithms influence like our social media platforms, TikTok and YouTube, and how important they are for the content creators that reside on those platforms. So, we were talking about this a bit, off the record, but content creators obviously, make their living off of social media platforms and, YouTube and TikTok. So it's of the utmost importance that they understand how these algorithms work because they want to optimize, their reach. Like you said, like you want to get the most amount of likes, you want to get the most amount of comments, you want to drive up the engagement, you want to get exposure, you want to be on the Explore page, like that legendary Explore page.
I've been there a couple of times. It's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of weird.
Weird flex, okay, but
it's weird. It's very weird. It's not. I don't even call it a flex. It's just odd. But go ahead. That's me.
Yeah, and it's basically your job to understand how this algorithm works, and the problem with that is, as you said, the algorithm can occasionally change. Some platforms more than others. Like I believe on Instagram, like the algorithm's almost always changing. Like
it has to.
Yeah.
I'll let you finish, but I'll explain why it has to change all the time. And a lot of other social media platforms are following Instagram's change in methods.
No, you go ahead. I'll wrap it up, but you can go on to that. Let us know because I'm actually genuinely curious.
Okay, so basically the reason why it has to change is because how people manipulate their that's why I was saying like likes, like obviously they matter because if it's good content, people are gonna like it. But because people used to buy fake likes, fake followers and stuff like that.
Yeah. You're talking about like fake profile. Likes.
Yeah, so they constantly have to change their algorithm to like oversee that and make sure it's like genuine and like authentic content, So and
you're saying,
I think that's why I was saying back in 2016, like that's when you really started seeing the change more and more because of stuff like that.
Because I remember you were saying how you said back in the day on Instagram, it was all about the likes, but now it's more about the engagement, right? So like comments and stuff like that. And that's how you notice that a lot of content creators that really like live off these platforms, I've especially noticed it on Instagram, is how they always post stuff and always ask for engagement. Like, what do you guys think about this? Or vote 1, 2, 3, 4, which is your favorite?
It's like their call to action when they ask for engagement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, but I actually want you to go because what we were talking about this is about off air about you don't have to name the guy if you don't want to, but how like
yeah
you know exactly what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah, so following this thread, right? Talking about the importance of all these algorithms and how they're always changing, and that's very stressful for a lot of these content creators because, like I said, they have to always understand it, and you always have to like be in the loop of what's going on. So if you have something that's for the most part out of your control, but you're still trying to control it, it's very stressful, and for a lot of people, perhaps too stressful. And we were saying because we were having a discussion, it's like. I believe that some content creators let the job of being a content creator drive them to depression, and I think a big part of that is the ever-changing algorithms and always having to create popular content. So if you see that you're on the rise, and then all of a sudden like you start stagnating. like that curve flattens, or perhaps even some of the worst cases actually start to kind of go down. That is very heartbreaking for a lot of content creators. And we were having a
Especially
discussion.
if they're living off of it. That's when it's like
And that's what
really
I was saying. It's
heartbreaking.
like, your argument's like, well, of course they're going to be, heartbroken because like that's their revenue stream. Like that's how they make a living. And I'm like, yes, that's true, but you got to think about it like this: is that if I start some kind of YouTube channel or Twitter profile or Instagram profile, and I start from like almost nothing, and then all of a sudden I have a base of like 1 million followers. Like even if my channel starts to go down and I start losing some revenue, I've proven my worth as somebody that can become popular on social media to where like I'm very attractive to a lot of businesses who are trying to sort of like change their social media strategy, and they need somebody that understands like how to navigate through these types of things. So even if for some reason that your content channel falls off, there's a lot of work opportunity out there because you've built that, you have that experience, like you have the results. Like
On top of that, you build that brand. Like people are still gonna remember that brand.
Like, I was about to say, it's like not only just the experience, like I said, like the results. Like you have results, like you have hard results, and that will always keep you employed, even if your own brand says like goes under or starts stagnating. And but I understand like how it's still stressful because that's something you put your heart and soul into. But I don't know, man. Like,
I mean, I kind of get sometimes where they're coming from. Not like the depression part. Maybe just because more of like I get depressed when I pay my bills and stuff like that. So like a lot of the people who I notice who get more depressed about it are like more so like up and rising like kids who YouTube stars, TikTok stars, and all that. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but like in the outside world where you have to like worry about bills and actually like worry about like living your actual life, there's other stuff to put into perspective. But I get where they're coming from because they put their all into it and then put so many hours into like making a video, and if it flops, it's like, oh, this sucks. Or like they made a video and they offended somebody and they lose like 100 followers,
or lose like a sponsorship or something.
Yeah, sponsorship or something. It's just like heartbreaking. It's like they put so much work into it. Maybe they didn't put as much thought as they should have. So I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's just like, yo, like you said, you already built a brand around it. Like, just don't give up. Like, think of the long haul.
Yeah, like, and like you said, like you mentioned, like these younger people, it's like you have like these social media icons that are like 18, 19 years old, and like they start like getting like depressed because it's like, like they're stagnating or they're like dropping in popularity, and it's just like, dude, there's so much stuff in front of you. Like your life is literally just beginning. When I was 18 years old, like I was just starting college. I didn't know what the hell I was about to do with my life. Even right now, like I have a better idea, but I'm still working there. And
when you get out of college, you're gonna still be changing your mind here and there, just as long as you get your experiences. Like you said, it's about the experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. Like again, this is just me looking from the outside in, because I mean, like I'm not popping on social media like that. But those are my 2 cents.
Trust me, the people who actually are making money off social media don't have like millions of followers. They have, okay, let me explain this, because they explain it all the time on TikTok. Because TikTok, like if you want to monetize on TikTok, it's better to be niche oriented on your like page than just do what I'm doing. It's like journey oriented, because then sponsorships don't know where to categorize you at. But when you're niche oriented, those guys probably have like, all right, let me give a pseudo number. So I have like 100 plus K, right? But I'm more of like a journey, finding where I fit in a niche, finding myself on TikTok. But say there's like a relationship guru or like a tech expert, right?
Yeah.
And he has like 30K. 30K followers. He's probably able to monetize better because he has specific people who are following him for his content because they get educational value from his content opposed to my content, which is more like, and on my personal page, I have 2 pages on TikTok. I have the podcast and then I have my personal page. My personal page is more like entertainment wise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's monetizing better with his page because he has specific group of people who are looking for his educational value, and then he can monetize by giving like courses or like asking questions or finding certain sponsors will find him in that space, like either relationship sponsors or like matchme.com or Tinder would sponsor him, or just per se like Microsoft or Linux would sponsor him if he was in the tech field. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the followers don't just because you have a lot of followers, it doesn't equate to like you making a lot of money. And that's probably just for now. You know what I mean? It could change.
Yeah, I understand completely.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like numbers kind of mess. Yeah, it skews with people's minds.
Yeah.
It skews with people's minds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with likes. Same thing with likes too. Like, I think the reason why, just to piggyback off your depression with people like getting depressed when the numbers start to dip with followers, I think the reason why the algorithm is changing, let's just go back to Instagram, coming from like most likes videos, get on the explore page to like organic reach, most views, engagement, is because like people in high school, middle school, college, undergrad, they started offing themselves because they weren't getting as much likes as their friends, and it was really affecting women because like it was like a beauty standard thing. I mean, let's just be honest. Like when it comes to Instagram, a lot of women, if you're very attractive and you're showing like yourself in more sexual way, you're gonna get more engagement and more likes.
Sex sells, yeah. I mean, that's how it
sex
goes.
It's part of business. Sex is business. You know what I'm saying? Sex equals business. But say that girl in that friend group, not only would they get jealous, they would get depressed about themselves too. And it was becoming like a social phenomenon for a couple of years now. And that's why Instagram was kind of forced to like change their algorithm and the principles about that.
Now they don't even show you how many likes they get.
Well, it does for my personal page. I still see the likes for other people and me, but like my business pages, I see others, and then I see like the first or a name that follows me on my business pages.
Yeah. Like it'd be like in others, or if you have a lot, it'll say like in thousands others. But that's really all it'll tell you. It won't give you like an exact number or anything like that.
Exactly. And that was the reason why. It was because it was really affecting people's minds, and like. You can see how like TikTok's helping it with it too, like especially as people who are like social media experts or social media gurus, they're trying to help people understand like it's really about how many people can finish through your video and how many times you rewatch it.
Yeah, YouTube's the same way.
Yeah,
YouTube's the same way. It's about not just about how many people click on the video, but also how many like where do people drop off like in your video? Are they actually finishing the video? Like, I remember, there's this discussion people were having, and somebody was like, I hate the YouTube dislike button because if you want something that'll make a video not show up or, like, make a video, like, just, like, not get recommended to people, what does more damage than a dislike is people not finishing the video or, like, stop watching after, like, a few seconds. Like, that actually does more damage to your video's exposure than the dislike button. So that makes the dislike button kind of pointless. Like now people just use it to troll and stuff like that. It's like why do you need it? Like Facebook doesn't have a dislike button. Like
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's really a lot of people who troll it, especially like if they're envious. Like maybe that person actually likes it, but because they don't like your personality, they'll be like, "Nah, I'm gonna dislike it." It's like, all right.
Or no, like you have subreddits that are like, "Hey, this person just posted this video. Hey, let's all go in and like
dislike." Yeah, like a mob mentality type thing. Like it's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. There's a good thing about like changing the algorithm, but there's pros and cons to it. The pro to it is like it's helping people understand like it's just about content creating. Like find your niche or go on your journey to find what you're good at and try to excel more once you find what you're good at, or you have a niche, put out content for it so you can gain a community behind it. That's the whole idea. That's like the basic principle, the first principle behind it, like using social media platforms. I guess Instagram just made it superficial when we were just showing our best side, you know? When you're showing your best side, it does something with the mind. It really does do something with the mind. I think that's the reason why I like TikTok is because like I can go in rough because I know other people are going in rough and they're just putting out content.
Yeah.
And like people and like millions of people will like it. They'll love it. Literally like 100,000 people will love it because you're being genuine. You're being your real side. People, you can see the paradigm shift that people are just not. They just don't like this like superficial side that people are.
Yeah, people got tired of that.
Yeah.
I noticed. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like it's just like I know you're not like that all the time.
Yeah.
Like I remember
think that's the reason why people like Twitter as well, because Twitter like it's no superficial bull crap or anything like that. Like you just say something, like you say how you feel, like that's how it is. Yeah. And I think that's the reason why like Twitter is still like extremely popular, is because like I said, like it's not superficial. Like people tweet what they.
It's raw.
It's raw.
It's raw. It's pretty raw. It's
raw. Like you go on Instagram, it's like very cherry picked, like and. Like, I go on Instagram just to, like, kind of check out people's stories and stuff like that. But, like, I just find myself way more engaged in, like, platforms like Twitter and obviously YouTube. Because, I mean, YouTube's a whole different beast. I'm not the biggest fan of TikTok. Like, I know there's, like, some funny videos on there that some of my friends share me with. But I
learned a lot of shit on TikTok. I'm not going to lie. I learned a lot of shit. And then it drags me to YouTube. So, like, people, like, use it as, like, advertisement. That's the reason why I really like it. But go ahead. You were saying?
Yeah. No. That was all I was about to say, right there.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna last that long. The reason why I'm saying that is because all these platforms are the same way. I treat every platform like MySpace. It comes and then it's gonna go. Like it's just a matter of time. Like Facebook, it's just in a demographic right now, but it's still depreciating as we speak. It's not.
I don't think it's depreciating. I think it's stagnating.
It's okay. So it's depreciating. It's depreciating as like a social media app, and it's like staying stagnant as like a business app because a lot of people still use it for Facebook ads. A lot of people still use it for form of trade. It's like an upgrade version of Craigslist.
Yeah, Facebook Marketplace is huge. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like an upgrade version of Craigslist, to be honest. Like, a lot of people use Facebook for business now.
Yeah. And it's like, you have like business pages on Facebook. It's like my page on Facebook, and, Yeah.
And then, like, Instagram's slowly dying down for many reasons. The superficial, the change in the algorithm. It's just been around for almost, it came like 08, 09, 2010 maybe? I don't know. It became
it was like 11. I count 2012.
It was like 11 or 10. One of those two.
Yeah.
I got it right out of high school. So it was around then. But
yeah, same time for me, yeah.
Yeah, so it's around 9-10 years. So around 10 years. It's had a good run, but like I can see it going down and almost dying out. That's why they're trying new things to save it, but it's just like it's left a lot of people like emotional scars. You know what I mean? So it's just like when people look for other outlets like Visco, TikTok, all those other platforms, Byte, it's because it's a marketplace. It's the competition starting to see like, all right, they're getting old. They're the old way. People found the problem with this app like Instagram, and they're gonna try to solve it with other new innovating ideas. YouTube is surviving because it's still like a long format video making channel.
Because there's really nothing really like YouTube. Like you said, that long format, like video on demand, and it's like just the open-endedness. Like YouTube, honestly, is like now like a kind of like a cultural touchstone. That's why YouTube will never go away. So I don't think
it's a universal television.
Yeah, Twitter will never go away. Twitch will never go away. It's just too ingrained. The only problem with YouTube is just behind the scenes, because apparently Google has like a hard time like making money off of YouTube, but obviously they don't want to like shut down YouTube because YouTube is just that important to us. Like, yeah.
A lot of people learn a lot from YouTube. That's the reason why.
Like it's just like I said, they're just a video on demand.
Yeah. And that's kind of good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about hard making money off YouTube, only because like Google AdWords and Google Analytics still like.
Well, I mean, like Google themselves
are
having a hard time like monetizing. I'm not talking about content creators. Like content creators, like they make a lot of money off YouTube. Maybe not YouTube itself, but like just not incorporating YouTube with like Patreon and stuff like that.
I was really into YouTube like back in like 2012, 13. And like,
it was harder because the tools to make quality content were more like expensive. Or hard to use. Like nowadays, it's actually like it's not that difficult because we have better tools now. We have better like guides and just resources to make more quality content. So now the standards have been raised.
But here's the thing about back in the day. It was about consistency. It was more about quantity, and then you finding like a niche and being consistent. That's what I noticed. Like I noticed a lot of people like the only person I can like think about that people could relate to is Gary Vee. When I was looking at some of his old videos, it was shitty quality, but because he had the niche about talking about wine and like the context of his videos, and he was consistent, that's why he got noticed. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have the production didn't have to be up to par. It was about the context, and being consistent.
So on the topic of YouTube and their algorithms, YouTube has like a notorious sort of system like underneath that like certain topics they normally don't recommend to people. Like the most recent example is COVID-19. If you have a video that like says COVID-19 in it or the title has COVID-19 on it, it does not get shared by YouTube.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's why like when people make videos about it, like they don't actually say it. Like,
or put it in the caption or in the description.
I don't know how deep it goes. I'm just basing this off of like this actual video I saw, and like the title was like, I have quote it, and this is my experience living with quote it. And in the video, he doesn't even say it either. Like, yeah, I have it, and this is how I'm living right now. And I'm like, wow, is like YouTube actually like penalizing people for talking about COVID-19? That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, I guess they don't want to create hysteria on YouTube because
that's true. But it's just like you said, like the topic of this video, like the algorithm and stuff. It's like Google actually like tries to control the overarching narrative on YouTube via the use of algorithms, and like just because I think it's like I don't even think that these videos will get demonetized, but content creators that like know their way around YouTube can tell if their video is actually not being shared, based on, especially if you're a popular content creator and you just upload it, and then naturally people are gonna see it and like flock to it, and, usually like goes up. But if you see like that line stagnate, and like now like for a bit you were getting like like when you first uploaded you were getting like 20,000 views per hour, and now you're only getting like 500 views per hour, then like that it's like, oh crap, like YouTube like is like not fucking with this video. And it's crazy. Yeah,
that's very true. There's certain words that are like flagged in the algorithm, or like certain phrases that are flagged in the algorithm where it's just like we don't want to share that or have it. We'll have it shadow banned.
Yeah, the shadow ban or ghost ban. Twitter does the same thing as well. If you share something that is not necessarily against the rules, like I'm not talking about like sharing like actual like pornography, but something that's like sexually illicit.
Twitter has straight up.
Well, Twitter does have a lot of porn.
Yeah, it has straight up porn on it.
They do have straight up porn, but I'm talking about.
They're like, oh, porn, bring it our way. Like they're the only social media platform where they're just like, I don't give a fuck, bring it our way.
Like that stuff doesn't get like recommended to you. What I mean is that like even if you have something that's even just like sexually implicit, like it just implies something sexual, sometimes that can trigger the ghost ban. And not only will that tweet itself not get recommended to people, but even that account will not show up in like your who to follow type of list. Because I've seen it. I've seen like legitimate Twitter accounts like for like real businesses. Like, you know, I guess like their social media guy like got a little too excited and like posted something that was a little sexually implicit, and then the business account got ghost banned, and it was hilarious because.
And you kind of have to do your own research if you're getting ghost banned or shadow banned, because like sometimes you won't even know. Like it's just like the only time you really know is you're used to getting like 50 likes within like.
Well, I know for Twitter there's actually a way to check. I forget like the actual steps, but because it was all part of the story because somebody actually checked and then they tweeted about it. I was like, yo, this account got shadow banned.
Really?
Yeah, and they showed like the receipts and everything, and I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, like usually when you find out, it's through like a third party like app or source.
Yeah.
If you're shadow banned or ghost banned, just because it's kind of hard to tell on the platform itself.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but every case varies. But let's give our closing thoughts. I guess I'll start off. Basically, algorithms at the end of the day is about problem solving. Like if there's a problem, they find the most efficient way and effective way to find a solution. Hence why you give algorithms a step-by-step instruction so it can execute what you need on the platform, especially when it comes to the internet or social media.
Yeah.
It's not just used on social media. It's used in almost everyday lives. Like people use it in the government, people use it in the private sector, people use algorithms everywhere. Shoot, your job might even use algorithms and you may not even like notice it at all. Like it's very, very effective tool. Probably most innovating tool of our lifetime. It's the algorithm. But I'll leave it at that. Algorithms, it's the shit, but it also is kind of it has its kinks. People are working through it. So it's everyday. It's pros and cons to it, just like a lot of other things in life. What about your last thoughts, Brian?
Yeah, like you said, pros and cons. I feel like we've been focusing a bit more on the negative sides in this podcast, but I just want to stress, like, algorithms are like kind of necessary for use, especially in like these social media platforms, because they help tailor make, like for example, in like Twitter, without algorithms, like everything you would see would just be like in chronological order. And some people, or like a good chunk of people, do prefer that because some people don't like the cons that algorithm brings, and like some things, like sometimes some important information gets like buried on top of stuff that Twitter thinks is more important for you. But going back to the pros, is that it gives you a more personalized timeline, and for the most part, especially nowadays, has been doing a better job of actually like giving you like the hard, like breaking like news or like the really important stuff like first as soon as like you like refresh your timeline, and along with recommending you profiles to follow that are actually relevant to you. Especially if you're purposely trying to influence the algorithm to recommend you more things that you're interested in. Like, for example, in my Twitter profile, like I've been going on like a following string for the past like couple months, and I've been following a lot of like industry professionals that like I want to learn more about and learn more from, based off this certain job I want, and I have been allowing the algorithm to do its thing and recommend me people that they think I should know. And 9 times out of 10, it's actually been pretty dead on. Like, I check out their profile, I read some of their tweets. I'm like, yeah, I want to follow this person, and I hit the follow.
Because the algorithm's paying attention to your content. Like, they're paying attention to your content, the metadata behind your content. Like, they're paying close attention to it. So, I mean, like you said, some people do like the chronological order, but then some people want to follow like-minded people like themselves.
Yeah. Me personally, if I had a Twitter profile where I only follow people I know in person, like I only follow like close friends, like I said, people that I know IRL, I would probably prefer the chronological order because I don't want Twitter trying to decide what's more important in terms of news amongst like my actual friends. And I think that's the problem with Facebook. I think that's the reason why people are more, harsh towards Facebook's timeline algorithm as opposed to Twitter's, because like most people do treat Facebook as a more personal profile, and like they're friends with people that they're actually like friends with. So having an algorithm kind of judge their news is a little iffy, but it works much better for Twitter. Instagram as well, I would say. Instagram really prioritizes people that like profiles that you actually visit a lot or people that you engage with a lot, and they'll obviously put them first. Like you see, especially in like the stories, like the order. Like even if somebody like posted a story and it's like 23 hours old, if it's a profile that Instagram deems like is close to you, like that's relevant to you, they will put that like first in the list, and that's like really easy to notice. And but I think Twitter nails it the best. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about this.
I mean, I think it's a good discussion. I know you said we focus more on the dark side about algorithms or more critical side about algorithms, but oh no, I think we gave like all around discussion about it, and that's just my opinion on it. At least on my side, I think algorithms influence us definitely. That's one thing that's definitely true about it. Whether it's pros and cons, it influences the way we think online. And its intent is to better our search online, to be more efficient online instead of like digging through the piles, digging deeper and deeper because it's time consuming. So it's just trying to, whatever you're looking for, it's trying to shorten that time span. That makes sense. Like it's not trying to, like you going, like say you're trying to count how many people are in the room. You're not doing it by like 1, 2, 3. No, you're doing it by like groups, like 3, 6, 4. You know what I'm saying? Like it's trying to help you get to where you need to be within a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame them for. But yeah, let's close out. I guess I'll start off with my social media stuff. Once again, my Instagram is p._nigma, and our podcast Instagram is at n_cast_, and then you can find me on Twitter, which is Nigma Prince, NIGMAPRINCE. And then you can also write questions to us at our Gmail, which is ncastpodcast at gmail.com. And yeah, that's all I got. How about you, Brian?
Yeah, so if you want to reach out to me on Twitter, that's Brian Lives Life, BrianLiveslIfe. Let's have a talk.
Yeah, let's talk. That's the whole point of the podcast. That's the whole point of knowing Brian and I. We're here to talk. So intrigue our minds, and hopefully we intrigue yours. Until next time, Brian, close us out.
안녕히 가세요. 또 만나요.
All right, yeah. Peace.